1 in 5 Americans spending $1,100 a month on car payments in the United States. I'm reading an article today and I see this number and I'm like, holy shit. I've talked about it plenty of times here on the channel before, but I've been loosely in the car market for a while, looking for an SUV for the wife, for her and the kids, and I'm starting to have to get more serious about it. Just threw the other car seat in the back of this car actually for the second baby that's coming here in a couple months, and we're gonna have to make it work in this car because I'm not getting a new car. But the wife, on the other hand, her Prius that she drives isn't gonna cut it, I don't think, with 2 car seats as it is right now. I can't even barely fit in the driver's seat with no car seat behind me. I'm not super tall or anything, but if you're like 6 foot or up, that sliding bench seat that's in these old Priuses doesn't really do the job. And it is insane that car prices have got to that point. But honestly, me being somebody that's looking for a new to me used car, SUV really, more than anything, minivan maybe on the table, kind of getting a little discouraged because it is so insane. Prices these days. Average car payment in the United States right now is around $750 a month. Normally being average in any way is not great. If you make average money, you don't make enough. If you pay average prices for stuff, you pay too much. So you're screwed one way or the other. Average being $750 is nuts. 1 in 5 spending well over $1,000 on car payments a month is even more nuts. But then you look at the numbers, you crunch the numbers, it's not that insane to see how you get there, especially with interest rates the way they are. I've personally been looking between 20 and 30 grand for an SUV, trying to spend between 20 and 30,000. Obviously the lower the better, but even running the numbers on it, you're not getting under a $500 car payment right now, really, with, I'm assuming, interest rates around 6-7%, but you're not getting under $500 a month on a used car until you're like well under $20,000 purchase price total. Just because, unless you have a huge down payment, but I'm just putting 20% down. Trying to follow the 28-3 rule, if you ever heard of that. 20% down, 8% gross income for your car payments, and 3-year term, so 36 months. However, I'd say, I don't know what the average is. I've never calculated the numbers, but I do know the average loan term for a car is a little over 70 months right now in the United States, which is including used cars, which is absolutely crazy. Like, I'm not buying a used car and putting it on anything. 3 years feels too long, but anything under that, you can't afford it anyway. So it's like, hopefully you're buying a car that has a reasonable amount of miles on it. Me personally, everything I've been looking at in the SUV world is like, hey, you're looking between like 80 and 120,000 miles around that price range, 20 to 30K. There's deals out there to be had. You can talk people down. There's stuff like that. It still doesn't feel very good. It doesn't feel like I'm getting a good deal. I don't know if you'll ever get a good deal again. Obviously, I would like to wait as long as I can for the car market to kind of settle out. It seems like it's going the right direction right now, but I honestly only have so much time as we roll into the baby number 2. And if you know anything, it's like, hey, you got a small car. Like, I have a trunk, but like, even just going to get groceries, trunk's full, back seat's partially full, me and the wife up front, baby in the back. So if we have 2 babies, now the trunk barely fits. I don't even know what can fit in there. Hit up Sam's Club and you can't even bring the toilet paper home. I know it seems like kind of a stupid complaint to have, but it's like, hey, I mean, once you get over a family size of 4, and we plan on having more kids, which is the other conundrum, is like, hey, we could buy a like crossover type vehicle now, and then 2 years later, roughly 2 or 3 years later, we're going to buy the full-size SUV. My personal opinion is I'm just going to buy the full-size SUV. If I buy an SUV, I'm doing the background, I'm doing the research, trying to find one that's reliable enough that I'll put the money in to fix it if it breaks, and we're just going to keep it till it dies, till it's so expensive to fix that it's not worth it. A lot of these ones too, if you're going to spend this much money, I mean, it seems like you can get some good use out of it, but for that price range, I'm looking all foreign, no domestic really. I know some people love American SUVs and trucks, but the SUV and truck market's broken as it is. I don't need to throw American unreliability on it on top as well. I've been looking at Toyota, Highlander, 4Runner, Honda Pilot. Just recently started looking into the Nissan Armada. Honestly, I didn't really ever think about Nissan as reliability, but people swear up and down that these older Nissans that have the big V8s and reliable transmissions in them last easily 200,000 miles if they get taken care of. So that's on the table now too. Like I said, minivan is there, but minivans hold their value like better than trucks, it seems like, somehow. Especially the Toyota and Honda ones, obviously reliable. They do what they need to do, fit 7 people in them and have cargo space. I don't know what more you can ask for. But yeah, we're going to have to upgrade it. We're going to have to do it relatively soon. And running the numbers, I do not want to do it. I mean, it sucks. Like, this is it's going to suck. Car payment, easy. Looking at 30 grand over 3 years, 7%. Easy $700 car payment, $800 car payment in between there, depending on your interest rate and stuff like that. But doing this rule, like I said, 8% of income, you can calculate it pretty easily. It's just your gross, your pre-tax income, and multiply by 0.08, get your number. That's your car payments number. Mine is like me and the wife around 900 bucks a month at making 130 grand. So making 130 grand combined gets you $900 worth of car payments. Nowadays, that's just one family SUV. I'll be keeping the other two cars, the Honda Accord that I've driven forever and the Prius that I have. The Prius will be a backup. This will be the main driver till it dies, and then we'll just go from there. I've never been one to have nice vehicles. Obviously, there's that trap of like, hey, you're going to buy a new car. You want to spend a little bit. You want to splurge a little bit and buy a nicer car. I do want to buy something nicer for my wife, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, if I can get a car that doesn't have all the bells and whistles for 20 grand, the same car that does have it all is just 30 grand and it has nothing else. It's just the same vehicle, but it has heated and cooled seats and remote start or whatever. It's like, I'm not justifying $5,000 to $10,000 in increases just for bells and whistles. Like, it's going to have to be the lower trim one. That's just what it is. Especially with the wife considering staying at home, where the income's going to go down. Got to have to adjust the ratio. Hey, it is what it is. Never drove nice cars. This car was the nicest car I've ever had. It had air conditioning when I bought it. It doesn't anymore because I didn't pay to fix it and it broke. But that was pretty sweet for the little while I had air conditioning. That was pretty tight. Here in Ohio, it's not terrible, but in the summer, it still gets 100 degrees a couple days a year, and it's not the greatest. And right now, with the car seat behind me, I can't put the seat all the way back how I normally would. I'm kind of jammed up in here. No kids in the car, even with the car seat in, but one way or the other, I'm still kind of cramped a little bit. That's not going to get solved for me anytime soon, but at least maybe if we buy a big enough SUV, I can solve it when we all drive as a family. I don't have to worry about it. But I wanted to ask any of you guys, especially if you've bought a vehicle recently, what your thoughts are, especially on types and your experience, because I've heard good things. Obviously, Honda, Toyota, I have no question for the most part, except maybe their brand new stuff, which I'm not worried about anyway, about reliability, and I have pretty good confidence that would be a good vehicle. It's more just like, hey, do you fit, honestly, especially if you have a family, because I'm scrolling YouTube, watching reviews, like, I'm not buying an SUV that I can't actually fit people in. I know some of the smaller SUVs, the one Toyota Highlander is like that, where it's like, a person my size probably is not going to fit in the back seat. So if you want to put somebody in the back seat, that you're going to have a tough time. But like I said, I'm buying used, new to me. You can get decent deals just because the depreciation hit. Somebody already ate it. They're a little older, so the reliability quirks have been either worked out or maybe already fixed. And yeah, you buy a car that's 100,000 miles and you hope it makes it to 200, and you just take as good care of it as possible, and you pay $700 a month, I guess, plus another 100 probably for insurance and everything else. Gas is going to go up. Obviously, the Prius is killing it on gas mileage. I know for a fact these Nissan Armadas I've been looking at are not going to do so hot, but we don't drive too far. It's all part of the game. But it seems like every time you turn around, obviously the cost of having kids drives everything through the roof. For me personally, like if it all fits, I'll be sticking to a car. I don't need anything special. Yeah, I'd like a truck in the future, but I'm not buying a $50,000 used fucking truck. I'll tell you that. It's not going to happen. Friends, family, I got plenty of people I know that all drive trucks. We live out in rural Ohio. They're sweet. Love a good truck. Love sitting up high and being up and away from everything, being able to see way out there. It feels great. Not in the car, it's budget-wise. And yeah, growing up, you'd think, hey, family makes over 100 grand, they're probably in a good spot. And it's like, well, we're driving 2 beaters, looking at buying a used SUV with 100,000 miles on it, and it's like, well, that'll max the car payment budget out right off rip for one vehicle, and then I guess we just pray to God that the other 2 cars don't break, and we'll have 2. So when one does inevitably break, you got the backup. We'll definitely keep one as a backup because I'm not risking all that. Other than that, just kind of a random offshoot rant video to talk about this article that I was reading and how things are maintaining their craziness as far as prices and affordability here. I don't know if the car thing is a uniquely American problem. I would assume it kind of is, Americans and their cars, and depending on where you live, like we're out here in the middle of nowhere really. You drive a 20-minute commute to work is like, that's short. People are like, yeah, that's not bad. I know people that are driving, I was driving an hour. I know people that are driving 2 hours. Talk to some of these construction guys I work with and am around, and it's like, yeah, I drive 2.5 hours each way. It's like, dude, you're driving 5 hours a day? And they're like, yeah, we don't necessarily work every day. We're working 410s or 412s, and then we drive 2.5 hours at the end of it. It's like, dude, holy shit, I hope you can extend your legs all the way. Like right now, I can't. My legs are almost touching the steering wheel, and foot's jammed up on the left side off the pedals. So first world problems, I guess. You're driving a car and you're a little cramped up, but hey, when that lower back starts hurting, or if we want to take a road trip with the kids, it's going to be like, ooh, this kind of fucking sucks. So we'll figure it out one way or the other, but let me know what you guys think. I'd appreciate it. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be talking finance stuff tomorrow. We got jobs report to discuss, and I'll catch you guys then.